There are some components to this. The first one, of course, is that the code is a published document, so there is no ambiguity, there is no vagueness. Whenever a decision or a ruling is made, it is based on specific components of the code. The second thing is that every decision, every ruling of the Consumer Complaints Council is published to the world at large, right? It's available for examination by anybody, and as it should be, because in a sense it's constantly creating precedent. The third thing is, how does ASCI actually rule on complaints? So there is a Consumer Complaints Council, and by our articles of association, the dominant presence in that Consumer Complaints Council is of civil society. So 60% of the representation in the Consumer Complaints Council is of the civil society, and the balance 40% is of the entire advertising value chain, as it were. We have very specific rules in terms of recusal, in terms of people who are in the CCC having to say that, wait a minute, this is a product or service in which I am somehow involved. I will recuse myself from this conversation because I should not be here. I am conflicted. And there is a final part, which is that even at the composition of our board, there is a substantial presence for people from allied professions who are not active marketing people. So in every stage and facet of the process, ASCI endeavors to ensure that there is nothing which creates either internal conflicts or conflicts with all the civil society or with statutory bodies. We work closely with government departments, with ministries. So, our track record demonstrates that conflicts have been managed very efficiently and very swiftly throughout our history. The primary way, of course, is as soon as decisions of a particular Consumer Complaints Council have been recorded and minuted, those minutes are shared with every single company immediately that has been impacted by that particular meeting. So every company, every organization, every body whose ad was up for review, they will receive a copy of those CCC decisions instantaneously. On a monthly basis, the entire month's package of all the decisions that were handed down during the month are actually published. They are shared with all the mass media, digital, print, television, so everybody gets a copy of them. And finally, all of these are now being put into a massive archive. In fact, there is already a very, very massive archive of all ASCI decisions, where everything going back pretty much to the beginning is now being digitally recorded and tagged so that it will become a searchable database. So it will not be strictly in the public domain, but it is definitely accessible to the entire value chain. So it's not just the present, but even the history, which enables everybody to understand how precedents have developed, how this practice have developed, how our understanding of the marketplace, of competition, truthfulness, decency, fairness, all of this has changed over a period of time. Because just like the code is not static, neither is the society, neither is the brand communications business. So things evolve, interpretations change, nuance is always altered. And it's important to have a repository, it's important to have that archive so that we see this, this trajectory along which we are traveling.